What's going on, Aries? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Aries. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey, because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, or something like that. I think that was going to be a thumbs up. I'm not sure what happened there. Aries is fine. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aries. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I'd like watching here, so definitely check them out. Very intuitive group. I think you would really like them. Actually, one of them's an Aries, and he actually said something in another reading that I watched that I thought was almost eerie what he said. But check them out, Aries. But let's get to your first card here. Oh, interesting. This might be a little tough energy for you here, Aries, because you got the third card of Gemini here, which is the Broken Heart card. And with this card, this is a card of heartbreak, interference, sorrow, grief, funk, sadness, mourning, distress, letdown, gloomy, hopelessness, regret, crisis, unhappy, hurt, bitter, devastated, and emotional pain. And the energy that's coming through here, Aries, is a distress. And I feel like with this, if we've been, I'm almost feeling like that there's this energy of maybe we've been, I don't know if there's been a lot on your plate as of late, or maybe there's some projects that we're getting ready to take on, or maybe we're getting ready to tackle maybe some kind of big move, whether this be, well, maybe not more so that, more so like, it's like we're accumulating a lot of things, and it's just like this stuff is just kind of compounding and compounding. And this might be stuff, like, again, maybe stuff is taking on, but it might even be, too, some emotional things that are just kind of building up, and we're feeling this sense of, I don't know, just looking for, I don't know, almost like looking for someone to save us, possibly. If that makes sense. I keep getting this damsel, like that, the phrase, like the damsel in distress keeps kind of popping in my head, but not in the sense of that. I feel like for some, it's like we may feel way more helpless than we realize. We may have kind of gotten in this sort of Eight of Swords energy where things have been, I don't know, it's just like the pressure's become too much for just one person to kind of bear here. And there's a need to, like, connect with others, or maybe just kind of share this, or something to take this kind of pressure off, so that it can kind of, I don't know, help you kind of see it from a different standpoint here. And I feel like, for at least for the I want to say at least for a little over a month, you have your ruler that's going to be in Libra. And Libra is about those one-on-one relationships. So this might be something where I do feel like yours is a sign that's usually one that can take charge and to tackle this stuff, and not to be brought down by things. There is, because you're a very great leadership type of energy, but even leaders need help sometimes. You can't all, it's not all done by ourselves. And it's like there's this perspective shift that's needing to kind of happen here, because maybe we see these feelings of distress, or feelings of worry or anxiety or something, as this sign of weakness, or even this, I'm even getting for some this energy, maybe even a fear or something along those lines. But that's a lot to take on for for one person, Aries. And you're not alone in this thing, you know. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Because I feel like a great strength to Aries is being able to admit when you have reached a limit. You know, when there's something has become a little too much for us to bear. Thank you. Now let's see what's going on here, Aries. All right, Aries. So you have the the Eight of Disc, the Knight of Disc, the Fool, the Death card, and the Ace of Swords here. And the disc in this deck, Aries, are Pentacles. And with this energy, Aries, I feel like with the Fool kind of popping up here, let's start there. The Fool is kind of giving me this almost sort of like naive energy in a sense. It's like it's thinking that we can, again, before, it's like it almost feels like for some that maybe we're trying to maybe deal with this sense of stress and maybe try to get this find this sense of stability by, I don't know, for some it feels like that it's like we're jumping into, I don't know, it's like, you know, when things start to compound and you start to get really sort of stressed out. So instead of like kind of dealing with the situation, we think that maybe like moving to a new environment or maybe moving to a different relationship or maybe even, you know, like doing things that are kind of that are distracting us. But it's like with the Eight of Disc here, I feel like we're putting in more work that way than we need to, Aries. It seems like that we're not learning that there's something that's needing to change. You know, how we might be going about this stuff, and we might need to take a moment if we've been kind of hopping around or been trying to evade these feelings, or that there's this energy of needing to be kind of grounded with them and kind of sit with this stuff. I don't know if you can see here, this knight is like really rooted. His horse is rooted in the earth and really kind of connected in a way. And I feel like there's a need to reflect on whatever this is that may have gotten us into stress. You know, whatever this idea or let me get a little bit more with this Ace of Swords. Because I feel like whatever this is with the Eight of Disc here, it's like there's something that we're going to really need to work at and kind of face head on here in order for us to be able to really, I feel like, take that next step in a healthier type of way to really kind of make some sort of progress here, to really get to this sense of change. But thank you. Let me see what's going on here, Aries. Interesting. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is clarified by the Lovers, the Five of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and then the Ace of Disc here. And it feels like with this, there is this sort of like, the Five of Disc is giving me this kind of like emotional upheaval. And I feel like there's this energy of feeling kind of maybe disappointed in ourselves and not being able to handle it. And it seems with because that's interesting, you got the Lover, Gemini energy here with this Broken Heart card, and the Lovers is Gemini energy too. And it feels like I don't know, it's like a new perspective, or it's like paying attention to how our choices, as far as like maybe if we've been asking for help, or been ignoring things, like how that has affected your vibration in a sense. You know, are we really feeling this sense of happiness, or are we doing things that are sort of like this temporary fix instead of really doing some real kind of solid change here, I feel like, for some. And I even been kind of getting to, now that I'm talking about this, because the Knight of Disc, like, he's the type that is, I'm almost kind of getting like even for some like a success type of thing. It's just like maybe we've been putting in this work and we thought that we would be further along than we are, but nothing seems to be changing. It seems like we're just sort of like staying stuck, and as opposed to, it's not that we're not putting in the work to get it done, but it just maybe I don't know. It's like we're getting to this energy of fear, or and it's like we're getting ready to back out of something where there's just like there's a need to maybe kind of redirect how we're going about things and not necessarily change. Let's say if this is like a we started this new career or something, started this, yeah, let's say it's like we're starting this new career, and it's like, we're doing this thing, but we're starting to meet these challenges along the way, and then you start getting that anxiety, and then we start to back out, or it's interesting, Aries, because it's feeling really kind of hard to like. It's like to connect with this, and I feel like too, it's like that we're just taking on whatever the stress is. It's really kind of, I don't know. It does feel like that maybe for some we do need to think about like possibly, and again, they're just asking for help possibly, or like, and this could be in advice is the biggest thing that I'm kind of getting here. Just something about Gemini energy is about communicating, and yeah, something to think about there, Aries. But I think I'm gonna move on from that one. All right, but let's get another oracle on the mix. Oh, all right, a little more Gemini energy there, because you got the second card of Gemini's, which is the Rings card. And with this card, this is a card of contracts, agreements, bonds, strong connections, unions, partner, counterpart, lovers, telepathy, like minded people, committed partner, engaged, interconnected, and soulmate. And this is interesting energy, Aries, because then this has been kind of happening here randomly. The energy that's coming through here is just like the Gemini energy in itself. And I feel like that whatever this is, I feel like it's really kind of tying back to this distress, and I feel like it's how we're kind of considering this ring card is like a card of connections and things and bonds. I feel like there is a need to, I don't know, something to kind of help take some of this burden off of us a little bit, because I feel that our thoughts is getting to this place of where it's starting to affect our Nine of Cups here, starting to affect our vibration in a way, and there's a need for a release in a sense. And I feel like that it may not necessarily solve the problem, but at least it'll kind of just take some of that built up type of pressure that's needing here, and maybe even too, because I feel like that this is just this, like, whatever these feelings of, if we've been feeling this, like, again, this anxiety or this fear or this even this energy of, because now I'm getting the tower energy, but in the sense of like we've been kind of locked up in this tower for some, and that there's this, I don't know, it's like there's this energy of these walls that are needing to crumble down, because it seems like with the Eight of Disc that it's like we've been working at this thing, kind of maybe coming at this from different approaches, but it still seems to kind of stay in this sort of stuck, kind of stagnant energy. I'm not. That's interesting, Aries. Let's get some tarot on this. Interesting. Thank you. So here's your ruler here. There's that tower. And then you have the Three of Cups and then the Prince of Swords here, Aries. And It seems like with this energy, Aries, that I don't know. It feels like that the tower is. It's again. It feels like that we're. It's almost like we're kind of like I'm picturing just like how you have this beast that's like burning this tower down. It's like it's collapsing. It's burning from the inside. But I don't know. There's this. I feel like there's something that we're not seeing here as to far as to why we're in this state of distress or that things haven't been going our way, and it's like we've been kind of pushing here with this Prince of Swords, but we're not reflecting on what needs to change. I do feel again there's like when I was talking about this energy of needing to kind of ground here and to sort of like reevaluate what's going on. It's I don't know. There's a need to. I don't. It's. It does feel like that. I don't know. There's something is like being bottled up here because the Three of Cups can even be like a card of like again sharing your experiences, or sharing these kind of deeper feelings, and maybe we don't feel that we have someone that we can connect with like that. Maybe this is. And that's even a tough energy in this in itself if we feel that there's if we feel like that there aren't people that can we can rely on. But I will say to that, Aries, it's like do we is this something that we know that these people can't take on or be able to process or help you in, not even necessarily help, but to just even like to have this sense of empathy or something, and really hear you out? Or is it something that we're just assuming that they can't, so we choose not to? You know what I mean? Because there is a difference. That if unless if we have people, because I imagine there has to be someone who we have at least a connection with to kind of help, kind of share these challenges and things, and express where we're feeling unstable or we're feeling that a foundation is crumbling. That might be something that we're thinking about here. Like because even too like because that's an even like an interesting thought if we're feeling that we don't have I don't know like strong bonds with or where we have these sort of like superficial relationships and things like that. It's just like how did it get to that standpoint? Was this a matter of trust or a lot of questions here is let me get some let me get some more on this Prince of Swords. Because maybe this is something where for some it's like maybe we've always been like the loner type, just kind of keep to ourselves and interesting. Oh, and we were talking about that too. There's the Eight of Swords, and so the Prince of Swords is clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Chariot, and then the Ten of Wands here, Aries. And it feels like that. It's I almost feel like things have kind of gotten to this almost like kind of pressure cooker type of state where it's just like we're not able to. It's just I don't know. Something's building up, and it's it's like we're the only one that's kind of getting in our way here. I'm living through your Aries. We're the only one that's kind of getting in our way here of being able to have this sort of like forward progression. To really kind of move on, or to really get the energies moving here. But and this is an interesting way to kind of think of the Chariot, but when you think of the Chariot in other decks and how it's moving, it's not just the. I'm just thinking about these little animals here that are kind of moving this thing along, and there are times where we're moving the chariot, we're guiding it, but sometimes that we need these. It's not just like a. In this instance, I feel like it's not something where it's like we're just doing this by ourselves. There are others that kind of help move this chariot along, especially if you find yourself. It's just like when imagine when you're like pulled over, like, or you get like a flat tire, or you find yourself like stuck in a ditch or something like that, how others will kind of it's not that it's impossible for you to get out, but it's just it's harder for us to get out by ourselves and to rely on the help of others to kind of help get that vehicle out of the mud or out of the ditch and get that thing back on track there. But yeah, just something to be mindful of, Aries. Just if we've been, I don't know, been trying to do this thing just solo here, where again, I don't doubt your abilities for a second, but I do feel like, again, that's just a lot to take on for one person. But all right, Aries, let's get some tea, and let's get your last card here. Oh, all right. So you have the ninth card of Capricorns here, which is the Master card. And with this card, this is a card of discipline, working smart, focus, structure, teaching, training, conquer, overcome, controlled, learning a skill, in the flow, authoritarian, and commanding presence. And the energy that's coming through here, Aries, is to overcome. And I feel like with this, there's this. I feel like with where your ruler is at right now, that again, it's not that we can't overcome things by ourselves, but I do feel like that Mars right now is kind of getting you in this space of having you connect with others, to ask for help, whether this be maybe even like if we're in like a managerial position, for example, we have a lot of maybe we're feeling kind of stumped for ideas, or now like maybe we have I don't know, kind of like crowdsource in a sense, like kind of reach out to some people, or this could be maybe like a move possibly, or whatever challenges I feel like it's overcome. It's just like there's a need to kind of balance out when we tackle things alone, and then when we need the assistance of others. And again, it's remembering that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, because we've realized that we've reached a limit, and that we've reached, there's this point of like this, okay, I might have taken on a bit more than I can chew here. What is that? How do we pivot from there? What But let me get your last tarot cards on this. Was that wifey I see? Yeah, it is. So let me see what's going on here. All right. All right, Aries. So last little bit here, you have the Three of Wands, one of your cards, the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Disc, and then the Star card here. And let's switch back over, because I like this, Aries. Because, after the Tower, it's Star card. And this could be a card of unexpected help, because it's like, maybe, again, it's like we tried to tackle this thing head on. We've been trying to go at it, just throwing energy all over the place. Just kind of really just kind of heating up here, because the Knight of Wands, he's a hot figure in this deck. He's an Knights represent fire, and the Wands, of course, represent fire. So he's a fiery part of fire, and I mean that's appropriate for your energy. But it seems that we've been in this energy of defeat, and it's just like we're trying to process this thing. But I don't know. There's this. Considering that wifey showed up here, I do feel that there is this again, it's like looking for people that can kind of help you kind of ground this energy, or just to kind of help you understand this thing. You know, if like it's finding that partner, or that or those people that we can to trust in to kind of help us grow and to expand and to tackle these challenges here. But and you know, the star card can be a card of unexpected help, and who knows how. Hmm. And even just thinking about just Aquarius energy in general, you know, they're a sign of networking groups and things, and this might be where, with this, let's say whatever this is that we're dealing with, maybe if we don't have someone we want to confide in, then maybe this is something where we can reach out to, you know, get a little creative, you know, go out on the internet, maybe start like a blog, you know, write in your concern, just something to kind of get this thing out, so it's not just stuck in your, so not just stuck in our head too, because you did get a lot of Gemini energy coming through. And you know, air energy, it's one, yeah, if we stay in our heads too long, or you know, we can let our minds get to turning, it can be, we can get in our way with the, you know, we are talking about that with the Eight of Swords. So but I do feel like it's something you can overcome, but it's just like, again, it's that balance of when can you get over this thing, and then when can we have you know, when do we need to ask for a little assistance there, Aries, or you know, seek a different perspective. But I am gonna leave that there. So if you like that, Aries, give it a thumbs up, or if anything resonated with you, and share this, because I feel that that's, because it can be hard to, especially when you are in this sort of I don't want to say, like, kind of like I'm getting almost like this desperate type of energy, or just like a need to, just like that stressed, or yeah, it can be tough dealing with that by yourself, and it's good to know that someone is kind of paying attention, or just kind of looking out for you, Aries. So just, you know, share this if you notice someone's kind of going through something, or you know, been feeling trapped in the tower. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each week. And then lastly, look at you getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need it, but if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you the prize cards here, so I can get you out of here. And you got the Knight of Cups here, Aries. And I feel like with this, you know, the Knight of Cups, he's like a card of like of emotional wisdom, but there's this vulnerability that's really kind of coming through here with this Knight of Cups. It's that in, I'm almost like getting with this energy, because this crab represents the strength of the ocean, and I almost feel like that in admitting his powerlessness in a situation, that is a great show of power, in a sense of that, if that makes any sense. Like, he's, even though he has the power of the ocean on his side, you know, there is still this, you know, water energy, you know, with the cups still needs, you know, there's sometimes you need that fire to kind of help get things inspired, that earth to get things grounded, that air to get things thinking, get things moving. You know, it's all integral and all interconnected. And I feel like that it's, yeah, I'm not sure. It's like it's seeing the brilliance in that vulnerability, to allow yourself to admit. I don't know, to just like to ask for, yeah, just to kind of ask for help, or just admit that there's like, that we don't, you know, that even that something is wrong, or that something, or just it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean, Aries? But let's get your oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. Let's see what's going on here, Aries. Alright, so you got the 48th card here, which is the Poised card. And I almost feel like with this Aries is that we've been, I don't know, it's like we've been trying to, I don't know, it's like we've been trying to keep kind of poised and keeping that Emperor energy that, no, I got it together. No, everything's fine. No, it's chill. But then internally, it's just like it's not quite as stable. You know what I mean? There's this like, maybe there's this, like as we're saying that, it's just like we're replaying the stuff. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like I'm getting this like this sense of help, or like there's signals that are going off that are wanting you to just kind of break down, not be so put together, so poised, and not necessarily that we're just that we're just losing it and just dumping your purse on the table. But I mean that might be something you need to do, but just to not feel like you have to be so on all the time or so put together like you have it all figured out, because there are moments where the direction seems clear with what we're doing, and there are other times we don't know what the hell we're doing, then it's just like you're just the wheels are kind of spinning, and it's just like again we just sort of like are hmm yeah, I don't know, just kind of like jumping from one thing to the next, or just trying to avoid this, or hmm But yeah, Aries, I think I'm gonna leave that there. So just a little something to think about. But you stay safe out there. Especially if you've noticed that you've been feeling distressed as of late, or that you're feeling like that something is, I don't know, that we just need some help or something like that, or because maybe when I was saying that about the damsel and the stress, maybe that's something we're feeling, like we feel like like we're helpless or just like this. I'm not sure what that is, but there's staying like that can be tricky, Aries. So if we taking on too much, but you raise your vibration through the roof. Do some meditation. Maybe get out in nature. Do something where we can kind of think about what our next steps kind of looking like. And I will catch you on the next one later.